taken all the pains to travel from Chennai, from IIT Madras. He is a very distinguished professor. So let me introduce, and I'll take the opportunity to introduce Professor Andrew and his colleague, Ms. Bharti Balaji. So Professor Andrew Thangraj has been working with Department of Electrical Engineering at Institute of Technology, Madras. His bachelor was from IIT Madras in 1998. His research interests are in the area of the information theory and error control coding, and he has been served as on the editorial board of several journals, and especially the IEEE Transaction on Communication and IEEE Transaction on Information Theory. And since November 2011, he has been one of the coordinators of NPTEL, which is one of the biggest technology platform for education and technology enhanced learning. And he has been working very closely with that platform. And it has played a very vital role in terms of the certification, training people and young graduate, and started the focusing on the engineering education. But I think now time has come to diversify, collaborate, and also to understand the nuances of other disciplines and how the SWAYAM platform can take give the maximum benefits to the other domains, experts and all. So, and this is very interesting then, since 2020, Professor Andrew has been working as a project investigator of SWAYAM. So I think we are fortunate to have him here, that whatever we are going to hear from the person, he is the right person and talking about the SWAYAM as a most affordable, most productive technology enhanced learning platform, which is hosting the most sought after MOOCs on it, and large number of students and the academic community taking the benefit out of it. So over to you, Professor Andrew, and please introduce yourself. I mean, I've already talked about it, but
I should actually first begin by thanking Professor Sanjeev for inviting us here, hosting us, and then arranging this meeting in very short notice. And also, sincere thanks to all of you for attending this meeting. I know it was really short and felt like so all of you have come. Thank you very much. So this presentation is basically to introduce NPTEL and SWAYAM and this whole area of online learning and teaching in the Indian context. What is it? Why should somebody do it? Why does IITM do it? Why do all the IITs do it? What is in it for as individual teachers? What is in it for us as departments and colleges? What is in it for us as universities? What is in it for us? So all of that I will try to go through in as simple a way as possible and as quick a way as possible so as to not take too much of your time. So there are points where the presentation will pause and I'll take questions. Also, this is an opportunity for me to also invite faculty of DU, as warmly as possible, to join the NPTEL family and the SWAYAM family and contribute courses in large numbers, because I think DU, being one of the preeminent top universities in the country, is currently not very active on SWAYAM. That's the truth, and there could be a lot of reasons for it, and I hope we can have a good debate and agree on some of the things at the end. And I think at the end, it would be a tremendous benefit for so many stakeholders if DU participates very actively on SWAYAM and NPTEL. So this, I hope I can convey that to you in this presentation. Am I audible? Is this okay? I should come closer. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So maybe we'll begin with the first slide. So I think the first slide to me sort of captures the real reason for why in the higher education landscape reasonably okay. About 2.1 crore students get out of class 8 every year, and that's a pretty good number. But then by the time it comes to class 12, you see that the number has reduced to 1.2 crores. Only about half of the kids of that age end up going all the way up to class 12. And if you look at UG enrollment, enrollment in college, that's 85 lakhs. This is few years old. I don't think the number has changed much. So if this number called gross enrollment ratio is a closely watched number politically and administratively, that's the fraction of people of college going age who are actually in college. That number is only 27% today. And what happens to this 85 lakhs? Where do they go? About 10 lakh or so is in engineering. 10, 11 lakhs, give or take a few. a huge majority is in BSc, BA, BCom. 65 lakhs out of this 85 lakhs gets into BA, BSc, BCom. And the others are in BBA, BCA, like that. Now, there is a concerted push from the government to improve this gross enrollment ratio to 50%. Now, states like Kerala are already at 65%, Tamil Nadu is about 54-55%. But as you move towards the north, this number drops dramatically. And the overall national average is only 27%. And there is a big push for most states in northern India to hit the 50% GER target. And the big universities in the northern part have to contribute in a big way for this to happen. And you can imagine this number is going to double, right? 85 lakh is going to become 1.6 lakh when we go to 50%. And where will that 1.6 lakh go? Most of it is going to be BSc, BA, BCom. And there's no other way other things will happen. Engineering is expensive in the country at the end of the day. You pay a lot more fee there. BA, BSc, BCom is cheaper. So many people end up going there as well. And the new people who are going to come into college are going to be the poorer section of the society. So they will look for a lesser option as well. And what happens in BSc, BA, BCom, how does that get spread out? Let's look at it in the next slide. So this 85 lakh, if you look at which institution they end up in, the top celebrated institutes are IITs and similar institute. These are called institutions of national importance. There are about 130 odd of them. Together, they account for only 0.5% of UG enrollments. A very small fraction of students end up in these top institutes. These are great places, very, very competitive to get in. Good quality teaching, good careers, everything is nice if you go to these top institutes. The next big section are public universities and private universities. So this together account for about 11% of the enrollments. This is not still very high, but still you end up going, these are good places. Invariably, if you end up in a good public university or a private university, you get a good career out of it, a lot of good things happen. The public universities tend to be generally more affordable, but then, competition is tough there. Private universities are very expensive, good grants though, but they're very expensive to get out of a private university. So as a whole, a large majority of students end up in places that we call colleges. I will not talk too much about open universities. They're not considered very mainstream in the country still. So the colleges is where everybody ends up. 83% of the undergraduate enrollment is in colleges. And the colleges is places where quality varies very, very widely. And some of the colleges are good, some of them are quite ordinary in some sense. They cannot afford good teachers, they're distributed in far-flung places. The quality of education itself is very questionable. So one of the very important things that we have to do is to somehow build bridges from those top quality institutions to the colleges across the country. In every small town and every small, poorer neighborhood where you have colleges, can that student, a good student from that place, will they be able to access the top institutes through some bridge? And this bridge can be online. It's very efficient to make it online. It's very low cost to make it online. And at the same time, you reach out to a lot of people. So one of the questions some people ask is, are there good students in the colleges? You're saying 83%. The 83% is a huge number, and many of them can be good. And I'll show you why I believe there are really good students in the colleges. Of course, I'm not going to say 100% of the students are good. The good students do end up in the top institutes. But given the state and the way in which we admit people into these institutions, it's very likely that good motivated students are in many colleges across the country. Let me show that to you in the next slide. If you look at the admission challenge, CBSE schooling is usually pretty good, but only 13 lakh kids go into CBSE schools today. A huge majority of students go to states boards and other boards, and because of this, all of the top institutes end up relying on entrance exams. One entrance exam or the other. I believe DU does CUET a lot, and JEE is done by IITs and other places. So what happens is, to do well in these entrance exams, to get into the top institutes, you need coaching. And coaching is very expensive. Today, IIT coaching for JEE is 5 lakhs a year for 3-4 years. Right? It doesn't go lesser than that. So if you don't have 15-20 lakhs, you cannot go to the best coaching that you get in IIT. So really, if you look very closely, even if 0.1% of the students who end up in colleges are going to be good, that's a huge number. Because the number of people who are in colleges are really, really large. And it is true. I can tell you, based on my NPTEL experience over the last 10 years, I've personally met and interacted with these really highly capable, very, very motivated students who don't end up in the top institutes just because their families cannot afford. Their families do not know about these institutions and they cannot afford to do this institution. So one of the really important goals for top institutes in the country now and going forward is to build these bridges I was talking about, to provide access to anyone who's interested in learning, who's motivated to learn from any college to learn from the top institutions. Right? So I think this is a huge mission, a very, very important mission, and I would say the central mission of NPTEL and SWAYAM is this. How do we give this access? How do you take education to them? So NPTEL has been doing this for a while now. It's an old project. It's a multi-institutional project. It started in 2003. At that time, there were 7 IITs and IISc Bangalore together. They came together and proposed this to the ministry. At that time, it was called the MHRD. It approved it. And it's been going on for 20 years. And it's one of the longest running multi-institutional projects in the country. For the first 12 years, the only thing that was done was capturing video lectures that happen in IITs and then putting it up in a repository. That's all we did for the first 12 years. From 2014 onwards, with the advent of MOOCs and its popularity, NPTEL embarked on a huge certification program. And that program really has become really, really very popular. And I want to talk about that more, but before that, just to tell you from a high level the impact and infrastructure that NPTEL has today. We have 3,000 plus courses. Courses are like papers. That's that many courses we have on our portal, billions of views, millions of subscribers, tens of millions of subscribers now, and tens of thousands of hours of videos with English subtitles. All this we've been able to do through this NPTEL project. So let me talk about the certification part. This has also grown very, very impressively in the last 10 years. It started very small. I'll show that to you in the next slide. But today we are really, really large. The total number of courses we have done on SWAYAM is 5,372. All these courses are free. Anytime it's offered, students can just go there, click and enroll. There's no admission check, there's nothing. Anybody can go and enroll. And together, overall, over the past 10 years, 2.3 crore plus people have enrolled onto courses offered by NPTEL on SWAYAM. And one important thing we do, this differentiates us from all the other online course offering edtech platforms and other platforms. We do not give certification based on online content alone, online exams alone. After the students go through the course, they have to register for an in-person proctored exam in centers across the country. This is held like CUET, all over the country. It's held. We send representatives to every such center, make sure that the exam goes properly. And students have to pay a small fee for this. This is 1,000 rupees per certification exam. That's all they pay. If they pay that, they can go to a center near their place, write the exam, and if they pass that exam, they get a certificate. And once again, that's proof for you, right? So these courses were offered by the top institutes in the country. 18.8 lakh have been certified so far. I can show you pictures of people from really small towns and first generation learners from agrarian families doing really, really well because of NPTEL courses. So it's a big impact that's been created. If I can focus on just the last semester, we did 689 courses, 28 lakh plus enrollment, 6.75 lakh people wrote exams for NPTEL certification. Just this semester, it's going on, just about finished. So if you see how we grew, we are still growing. That is the important message here. You can see in 2023, more than nearly 12 lakh people wrote our exams, registered to write our exams. Just the previous year, it was only 7.5. And the growth is coming tremendously. And one of the things, interestingly, which is limiting our growth is NPTEL does not offer too many courses outside of engineering and science. So that's what the IITs offer. So if we can really go beyond that, we're going to really hit, out of the 85 lakh, maybe 40 lakh will do our courses and exams. That would be very nice to have. Now, before I will talk about this in more detail later, but just to give you a brief understanding of what these MOOCs are, what these online courses are, central parts are video lectures, the lectures that you deliver in your classroom, recorded in video form in a nice way, and that's put up, that's the main content. Week after week it goes on the portal. But along with the video lectures, every week we put out assignments, simple objective type, usually auto-gradable assignments, but these assignments check the students' understanding of what they have consumed that week. So they read that go through the lectures and then answer these questions. So these are very, very useful, a simple tool to make them think and get involved with the content. And then there are text transcripts and lab demonstrations. Many courses have lab demonstration. What I mean by that is you can take the camera to the lab, show an actual experiment, or you can even take the camera outdoors, go and show what happens actually in practice at some point and then connect it to your course in a very interesting way. Some faculty do live sessions, interacting with the students. There's also a discussion forum where students can ask questions and then answers are given by the faculty and the TA. So this very simple way to create an online course has been quite effective in reaching out to a large number. So just to tell you a little bit more about the kind of courses NPTEL offers, largely it's been engineering because IIT is well known for their engineering skills. We do basic courses, elective courses, job-oriented skill courses, all of them mostly in engineering. We also do a little bit of humanities and management. It's not zero. There are humanities faculty in IITs and management faculty in IITs. They've been doing some courses, but it's not in very large numbers. I'll talk about it later. So some of the unique things which I will emphasize are very important and have contributed to the success of NPTEL. First thing is we do a proctored exam and credible certification. So that has brought us a lot of buy-in from brick and mortar universities. A lot of universities today do something called credit transfer, including IIT Madras. All IITs do credit transfer today. So students can take a limited number of courses on SWAYAM through NPTEL and then credit those courses into their degree programs. That's possible today. And that's driving this program in a big way. So that's one very important aspect. The other huge component of our success is this bridge that we have built from NPTEL to every college in the country pretty much through the concept of a local chapter. So many colleges today have NPTEL local chapters. It's just an informal sort of unit with one ambassador of NPTEL in the college, but that person is able to coordinate with the students. That person has a special role on our portal, so they know who from their college is logged into the course and is doing it. So that connect and that community we have built through the local chapter is one of the very, very important reasons for the success. Of course, we engage with UGC, CTE, make a lot of regulatory changes to enable the mainstreaming of this kind of programs. And then, of course, we engage with industry. I'll talk a little bit about some of this in the next slides. So, what disciplines we offer, who offers our courses. You can see the older IITs and IAC have been shouldering the load a lot, but we have diversified recently and we want more universities to come forward. Top universities, we've been trying to get BHU, AMU, DU as well. It's been one of my dreams to have all the top universities in the country contribute courses on NPTEL. We've been diversifying. We're very keen to have more and more participation. You can see pretty much most of the courses we have are in engineering. We do have some humanities management, but not too many. And a lot of courses we have are in engineering, and we cover a wide range of areas. The next. Yeah, so who are our learners? That's a very important question. I give you lakhs and lakhs of numbers. It's interesting to see about 82% of the learners in NPTEL are college students in college. So we do hit the most important part of the target very easily. But interestingly, 11% are faculty in the colleges. So NPTEL has been serving as a faculty development program in disguise. A lot of faculty do these courses. And 7% is industry. And you can see attendance and pass percentage is pretty high. Once again, that again shows you that there are people spread out all across the country who can handle this content. And competition is what is eliminating them from the top institutes. And why do they do this course? If you ask them, I'm not sure if you can read it very clearly, but the tallest bars in the middle are credit transfer. So credit transfer is the biggest reason why people are doing it. Brick and mortar colleges have embraced credit transfer in a big way. And in fact, many colleges have NPTEL period listed. So the students go into a room, the videos are played, and they ask questions. It's something that they enjoy, and they've mainstreamed it in a very interesting way. Of course, the other two things are getting some job and internships, and the last part is gaining knowledge and so on. So that's to look at it, and this is spread out across the country. Everywhere you see people are taking part in this exercise from the northeast, west, south, north, everywhere. You can see quite a dense part in UP also. Quite a few people come in, but of course Tamil Nadu, Kerala would be maximum if you actually look at the numbers. Yeah. Okay, so another thing we do, so we do a lot of things other than just offering certification courses, So, like I mentioned, the community of learners that we have, the connections with the local chapters is very, very key, and we cultivate it and we maintain that relationship a lot. One of the things they've asked for is, what if somebody wants to do multiple courses? Let's say, for instance, data science is a big area. Somebody wants to specialize in that, right? How do you go about doing it? So, for those kind of specializations, NPTEL today offers something called a domain certification. Whoever you are, whatever program you may be in, it's good to know data science today, right? You get a job if you know data science. So what if you have to learn data science, even if you are, let's say, a BA English student, right? So you can do a series of 6 courses in NPTEL, which will make you a reasonable expert in data science. It will have all the courses that you need. So we put together courses like that. Not only in data science, it could be any other area as well. So you can do that, and this is being used by a lot of people. So many people come back to us for multiple courses to earn such domain certificates as well. So that's something that's possible. I'm just showing you all that's possible today with NPTEL. Like I mentioned, local chapters are a key reason for our success. 5,900 plus colleges are local chapters with us. All they have to do is have mentors and points of contact at the college, and they interact with our officers, with the faculty and PAs, and this relationship and connection that we have with the colleges, this bridge I was talking about, is very, very important for success of NPTEL. You can see 82% of the people who have registered for exams are from local chapters. And it's not only engineering, the engineering is about 3,000, and you can see we have 1,670 arts, science and commerce colleges. Of course, there are many, many, many more colleges. And the reason why they don't come to us in large numbers is those courses are simply not there. If a university like BU starts participating, we can have more courses in commerce, arts and sciences, you would see much more colleges coming up and taking this up forward. So we do a lot of other things. Like I mentioned, another big project of the ministry is to translate all of this NPTEL content to multiple languages, particularly for people who study schools in other medium, Hindi medium for instance, very common, and they struggle when they have to transition to an English medium college. So the first year courses is something that we're really focusing on to get them translated into as many languages as possible to make that transition easier. We also associate with industries. This is again, like I mentioned, I keep talking about this community we have built, and we try and nurture this community in so many different ways, and having industries associated with us is very, very important. So industries support us to reduce fee for deserving students. Instead of 1,000 rupees, which could be a little bit high for smaller towns and villages, students were supported through CSR, pay only 500 rupees for the exams. Industries come and offer internships. We also do soft skill training for toppers in NPTEL exams. So people who do well in NPTEL courses, we interact with them through a lot of initiatives like this. So I want you to think of NPTEL not just as some project which is creating courses and putting up there and doing exams. We really invest in this community of local chapters. Every semester we meet them, we call them to the IITs, all the representatives come there, we interact with them, we talk to them, we give them lunch, We really nurture that relationship, and through the year we work with them on various projects. They help us with translation, we do soft skills for their good students, a lot of interesting things we do with them throughout the year. In fact, we support some of the local chapters for traveling to conferences and presenting papers and things like that. A lot of things we do with them. Okay, so I think, we've won some awards. This is a pretty reasonably good award. QS Reimagine Award with Walkton. We won a gold winner for lifelong learning category last year, 1 year back. Okay, so this I think is a good place maybe for me to stop and ask if there's any questions from your side, if you want to engage in debate on many of the things I mentioned. The rest of the slides are about how to go about proposing a course and how to content. So maybe we can take 2 or 3 questions if you
This is Niranjan Kumar. I teach in the department. I got a couple of questions here. When you say that credit transfer for all the institutions, so from suppose you are taking this course, that can be transferred to any institution, for example, Delhi University. So we have not evolved a mechanism of that sort. So do we need to adopt or adapt to our academic council?
Yes. So your academic council has to approve it. Absolutely. Otherwise, without that, nothing like this will happen. So the word credit transfer, I think, is a wrong terminology. Credit has to be accepted by the university which takes it. Right?
Only after it has been
It has to go through
or respective academic councils.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
The second question is, when you say that it can be, the courses can be offered to any student, and many of the courses, suppose, I don't know, even science courses must be, for example, I had a dimension of curricula in Delhi University, which is a new dimension in the higher education system of the country, that is value education courses. So in value addition courses, 50% of the delivery of our courses are in practical mode. Application, practical or practical kind of things, 50% delivery. So when you are offering the courses through this NPTEL mode, how to incorporate those practical things for the students who are offering through this online courses?
So I'll tell you, I'll answer some question in two different ways. One thing is, I'm not going to say that everything that you do in the classroom exactly can be reproduced. So you have to think of the scale a little bit. So it should be scalable in some way. So for instance, many of our courses, we don't ask for long essays that are going to be graded. If thousands of people are doing it, it doesn't work. So I think you have to think of an interesting way in which that can be taken on. So that has to be thought about. But having said that, I'll also say one thing. We have run some lab courses through NPTEL. The way we do that is, we offer the theory course and then sort of pre-select the students who are good. And then for a smaller cohort, you can offer a lab course in the physical campus. Something like that is possible. But if you ask about a very solid thing like a lab, chemistry lab or something, how do you do it? It is, in my opinion, it's hard.
Even guiding even the humanities, because our courses of the value addition courses, except one that is digital empowerment, all our courses are oriented towards humanities, right? So it will be a little challenge. So that way, related question to what you answered is, so can we then say that the quality or the delivery of the teaching or the courses for the NPTEL students may not match the regular students?
I'm not sure if I'll agree with that totally. So having said that, one more thing I wanted to say is, we have had courses in language, German, Sanskrit, Japanese offered on NPTEL. We have had courses on appreciating Carnatic music, Hindustani music, and all that on NPTEL. Of course, it's not like you're learning the singing. So I think it's about what you want to accomplish. And even in a regular physical classroom, even if you go and teach 100 people in a classroom, the fraction of people who are listening to you and following you, if we are really honest about that, that fraction is quite small in any physical classroom. Right? Not everybody is just listening to us in the same way. So the people who gain from you are those who are really actively listening. And today, for those who are actively engaging with an online course, there are a lot of ways in which they can fill those other gaps, locally, through other means. Yeah, not directly from you, because that doesn't work in scale, but they could be going to some other place nearby. And this is like an important way in which they get initiated into the new area, and they may be able to augment it through other means. So that way, they get to learn something which otherwise they would never be able to learn. That's the way I would like to think of it. It's quality-wise, what is the difference between an in-class learning versus someone learning on their own? This is an important topic. A lot of research has been done on that. And many people have concluded that, at the end of the day, an engaged, interested learner, motivated learner, with a good online content, is able to augment it with other things, using other resources, and learn equally. It seems to be the conclusion from most places.
Can I ask something? Yeah. Coursera or EDX courses?
So I think, first thing is, the impact we have in terms of numbers in India is just not comparable. I don't think Coursera and EDX come
as a student, given a choice, if there is a similar course from Coursera or EDX where I will be getting a certificate from, say, Stanford or MIT. What is the kind
of... So students still come to us, first of all. That's one thing I would say. Our teachers, in my opinion, are equally good. Many of our teachers are really top class. You can go to graduate school in the US and you'll see NPTEL lectures playing. I'm not joking, this is true. I go to conferences, people come up to me and say, your lectures are wonderful. I saw these lectures. You get emails from people who see these lectures. Serious students everywhere come to NPTEL. NPTEL courses end up being full-fledged, complete 40-hour courses on serious topics. You will hardly find electronic circuits taught the way it's taught on NPTEL anywhere. I can really take on the challenge
It's really true. You can go to the top graduate schools in the world, you will see NPTEL lectures on really serious topics. Because we do serious college level courses. We are not teaching a general audience, number one. Number two, for the Indian audience in particular, many of these MIT Stanford courses are like Greek and Latin. I mean, see, our audience is small towns, smaller areas in India, people who go to college, maybe first generation learners, we're talking about them. For them to sit in some lecture on Coursera or edX from an American professor talking with examples with baseball and all, that's very hard. The urban elite, of course, they may have their own notions of what is prestigious about an online course and all that. But I think NPTEL has proved that it has its own unique, strong standing among all the other things that it mentioned.
My second question is that, I'm sorry, can I ask another question? Yeah. My second question is, if it has to be adopted by the university, then it has to be in tune with the papers which are being offered as a course in our PG or UG courses. So if the credit transfer or a credit acquiring question comes, unless the student gets benefited in his or her normal degree taking, I mean, he should have an incentive to it. So your courses have to be compatible with the ongoing courses.
Let me answer that in multiple ways. So today, hundreds and hundreds of autonomous colleges and universities across the country are adopting these courses for credit. That's the reason you're seeing that. So if you offer a course on NPTEL, on SWAYAM through NPTEL, your course becomes eligible for credit for so many thousands and lakhs of students across the country. And those academic councils have done their own due diligence and have said that courses on SWAYAM through NPTEL can be taken for credit, including students from IIT Madras.
It's the other way around. So yes. You mean that whatever courses we have, we offer them on NPTEL?
Yes, that's it.
I thought that NPTEL will be offering
No. You offer whatever courses you have, and the way, for instance, in IIT Madras, the way we do credit transfers, all our students have a bucket called free electives, open electives. Any course can be taken. And those, in that bucket, they can take the NPTEL courses for credit transfer. Yes. So many of them end up doing humanities courses, social science courses, type of courses that you would never get in IIT. They do these or three courses.
Let me do this one question related to because if sometimes we say that what type of courses we see students even in regular mode, they are having the regular courses, but like skill-based courses which 2020, they are doing additionally because they understand that because it is for professional development or it is because of employability. Are these courses more skill-based or something which can be taken up as an add-on basis?
There are many courses. I mentioned one of the big buckets I mentioned is skill-based courses. So for instance, today if you want to get a job in the, let's say, programming domain or something like that, you have to learn Python programming in data science. That's one of the first courses a lot of people do, and many colleges across the country do not even teach Python. Right? So how would the student learn that? And if you want to get a small internship or a job somewhere nearby, you need to know Python. And many students do that on NPTEL. And that brings them employment when they go to campus placement and all that. So those kind of things which they would not be able to learn otherwise in their own college, they do that. That's one use. Having said that, I'll also say that many colleges find it hard to find faculty. Right? In BU you have 10,000 faculty, but still it's not true in smaller places. Right? It's very difficult for them to find faculty, particularly to teach electives. So many electives in the engineering curriculum at least end up being done on NPTEL.
Credit meant that their NPTEL 3 credit course has been adopted by some of the IITs as 4 credit equivalent. They have given to a 3 credit course, they have given equivalent to 4 credit weightage. In fact, I have seen. So having said that, a number of our students, they are not the probably brightest or even the brightest student have a lot of queries. Like the man was asking a question with respect to comparison with Coursera, etc. At least those courses have a structured method where the audience can communicate, students can communicate. Probably that is not so much.
That's what I mentioned when I mentioned discussion forum, right?
In all the courses.
Yeah, all courses have that discussion forum.
I have not been active. Yeah, so students can interact among themselves,
yes.
But probably if the faculty...
I'll tell you the kind of things we can do, right? So for instance, discussion forum is online. You ask a question, you can do that. But what we do for the really popular courses, important courses is, We have PhD students at IITs doing weekly sessions.
Yes,
they are live and they go and solve problems. They take problems from similar to the assignments, they work it out, they solve, they interact live with the students who are in the program. So we are able to offer such kind of help.
So to that extent, it's nowhere lacking behind Coursera. Or
I don't think
it's
so.
nowhere lacking behind actually. And they are really rigorous courses.
Discussion forum has the faculty and the team of PAs also.
No, discussion forums are auto-monitored. Faculty is also monitored.
Yeah, faculty and TAs of the course respond to every question on the discussion forum. That's one of the tasks of the faculty. Yeah, rephrase that a little bit. I think in the online mode, when the numbers are large, you have to work with as much as possible auto-gradable questions. In the beginning at least. That's how it is. Yeah. So if it is very large till the end, then it has to be auto-gradable. Because then you're not testing some parts of the student in some way. But if it becomes small later, if the course is really specialized and it becomes small later, you have the option of doing pen and paper type assignments also. But generally, I think you should limit yourself to auto-graded questions. And see, at the undergraduate level, when you're trying to evaluate some person for that particular subject, you can do most of it with auto-graded most of the time. I think only when you want to really figure out a specialized few who maybe are going to go up to research or something. Right? At that level, you need the more specialized sort of thing in some sense. Yeah, I think it's a scale, right? See, it's scale. When you want to do it in scale, this is some sort of some people will say compromise, but I'm not sure if I'll agree with that. But that's the way.
At least late joining, just now.
Like, defining a little orientation towards the SWAYAM platform, which is a MOOC platform. Everyone is aware of that. So how to make it happen and how to utilize this platform in a larger context, that is the deliberation going on.
So I think the way I would again emphasize, I think the point what you're making is well taken up. I don't disagree with that. See, you have to imagine colleges across the country. Right? You're talking about what you're doing in DU here to your students. It's a small group that you're able to handle. There are thousands and lakhs of students out there who don't have access to any teacher at all. Right? And for them, getting this on NPTEL and graded with objective type is something which is very prestigious to them. They hold it very dear, and for them, it creates value that's unspeakable. And then when you are able to get those kids, maybe select the toppers from those kids and then bring them to a top institute, I can tell you stories which are really, really moving. How they become better in life. There is a rickshaw puller's daughter in Nanded. The local chapter helped her out. She did multiple NPTEL courses. She was able to pass CUET, PG, and she's in a central university today. These are unimaginable otherwise, It's really moving, many of the stories. I can tell you stories of this student who was in a small village somewhere in Maharashtra. She did an NPTEL course. She went into Pune for a summer lab workshop. And she had this story of how for the first time she took a lift in her life and went up so many stories. I think it's the imagination has to be of something like that. I think there is a huge impact that you can make and bring these people who are otherwise not first generation learners who have never ever seen anything. You give them the quality of that they see in the top institutes. Let them expose them to that world. Otherwise, they think college is what they see next to it. They don't even know that there are colleges where really brilliant teaching and learning happens. There are teachers out there that can aspire to, maybe not UG, I can aspire for a PG there. Those kind of things is what you do. Yeah, Pamir Roy is another fantastic example. So there's a student in Arunachal who did a series of NPTEL courses, and now he's running a company in Bangalore. There are stories of this sort which really are impossible otherwise, right? All these kids need is access. Just keep that in mind. So many other things. If you commit yourself to teaching a course, it's very, very easy through NPTEL. We'll make it very easy for you. Okay, so let me just quickly go through some of the salient aspects to keep in mind. It's good to propose a course that's approved, let's say, in DU's academic council, and that you are teaching here actively. To your program, don't worry about anything else. In your program, you're teaching it actively, and you handle multiple batches of students in the program. Those kind of courses are good to propose for SWAYAM as well. Of course, exceptions can be made, but it will be good to propose such courses. We would invite you to propose multiple titles, 2 or 3 titles, because this will help us to check overlap with existing courses. This overlap is a bit of an issue, but as long as there is a good academic judgment for having one more course, we are fine. Okay, we can deal with overlap. We are happy to have multiple courses. As long as there is some reason saying, this faculty is approaching it from this point of view, I would like to do it differently. As long as there's a good academic justification, this is good enough. We have a template. We'll share that template with Professor Sanjeev. Hopefully we'll circulate it to all of you. The template captures all of these aspects. What is the syllabus, who's the instructor, what is the duration, what is the target audience, is it a UG, PG, all these questions will be asked. Typical courses of NPTEL, all courses of NPTEL are either 4 weeks, 8 weeks or 12 weeks. This is sort of like, 1 credit, 2 credit, 3 credit type thing. Every week we expect about 2.5 hours of video lecture. Now this is usually like 4 lectures a week. If you condense it, remove all the interaction elements in the classroom, it comes to about 2.5 hours usually, and that's what we expect the video lectures to have. So you see 4 weeks is 10 hours, 8 weeks is 20 hours, 12 weeks is 30 hours. Next slide. So once you propose a course, I'll come back to the questions towards the end. I'll just quickly go through this. Once you propose a course and once it comes to us and we approve that course for offering, then the significant part of effort is in recording the content. This will take a little bit of time and planning. We will help you. Okay, so we will help you in multiple ways. You can travel to IITM and record. You can go to IIT Delhi and record. We can send our people here to facilitate recording. We can do any number of things to make this happen. Like I mentioned, when we want to make your life easy, so we don't want to trouble you in any way. But there are a few things to keep in mind. Okay, the traditional blackboard writing, whiteboard writing does not render well into the video mode. There's lots of reasons for it. First of all, your back will be seen on the camera. It's not very nice. People like to see your face when you discuss. And also the blackboard, whiteboard writing tends to be poorer in resolution on video. So what we advise and what we suggest is to write on a tablet. Now this is very easy. It looks a little strange in the beginning, but I can tell you so many faculty in IITs and so many other institutions that we work with have easily transitioned into writing on tablet. It's very easy. It's almost like paper today. The technology is very, very good. You can very easily transition to that. So when you record on a tablet, when you write on a tablet, we capture whatever happens on the tablet window. We capture you, your face, and what you speak as well. And all these three are mixed very interestingly to create the final video. So that's how we do it. And like I mentioned, we've done thousands and thousands of hours. So we know how to do this. We can make it very, very easy for you. It's possible in a quiet area, wherever, to create a studio-like environment as well. So it's possible also. We can help out with all of those if necessary. The copyright I'll talk about in a separate slide later on. So recording the content will take some time. You have to think about the content, split it up week-wise. Let's say you're doing a 4-week content. Every week, what will happen? And then split that week's content into lectures that are reasonable. A lot of good things happen if you keep your lectures to 20 minutes or so. 20-minute modules. Even if you do a 50-minute lecture, it's good to break it up saying, this part deals with this topic. The smaller the size, it's easier for people to watch on mobile. A lot of our users watch the videos on mobile. It's easier to watch that way. So this will take some time. You will have to prepare and do it. We can help out. So if you do a trial recording, we'll tell you, come back and tell you what is good about it, what's not good about it. You have to face the camera. All these things are something that will help you out with. The various types of video content you'll find on NPTEL lectures. Regular classroom type teaching dominates the content, but we also welcome many outdoor recordings, lab experiment videos. It need not be a single faculty run course. Multiple faculty can contribute together. Like 3 faculty can do a 12-week course. The first one is doing 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks. It's very easy to, not create the content that way. You can do that. We can do outdoor recordings. We can do lab experiments. We can have experts from outside of universities also. There's a company which has some product that you're talking about, and then that person can come and do it. Group discussions are very nice on video. So you can innovate in the online world, which you cannot do in the classroom sometimes. Right? You can provide really rich interactive content. You can do animations which are very easy online. All of these things are also possible. Okay. So assignments I mentioned are a key part of it. Usually these are auto-graded. Every week, along with the 2.5 hours of video content, you should put out some 10 to 12 questions which are auto-gradable. So auto-gradable means not just multiple choice. You can also ask fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks can be a numeric value. And if the value is within a certain range, you get marks. So that way you can ask questions about, how to answer, assignments. I'm happily going to share these slides with Professor Sanjeev. You can circulate it. You will have all of this with you. So if in programming exams, courses, you can have programming assignments. There can be comprehensive type assignments. In our German courses, for instance, audio clips are played in German and people have to listen to it and then answer some questions. So many things you can do innovatively here. We also support manually created assignments, but this can be done only when the number is small. We also support peer review, the type that was being mentioned here. It's not the most effective way, but in large scale, if you want to do manually created assignments, that's the only thing that's possible. So all of these are supported. The final exams, there's a final exam I mentioned for certification, NPTEL will fully take care of it. You won't have to worry about it except providing question papers. The question papers have to be provided by you. We also will help you with what kind of format the question should be in, how to come up with questions, sort of Bloom taxonomy type things we'll tell you so that you can set up good questions. And usually, if it's more than 100 people, we recommend auto-graded questions, like I said, MCQ, MSQ, fill in the blank type thing. Paper and pen option is still possible if the number is less than 100. So yeah, with the exams, your responsibility is to set up the questions correctly, and then once the results, the responses come, sign off on the responses. Even for auto-graded, we expect that you sign off on it. We just give you some statistics about how every question was answered. You have to look at it and make sure that it's okay and then sign off on it. Paper and pen, of course, you have to grade and give marks. And we will come back at you to make sure that the grading happens on time. I'm sure you on campus, that's an important task. So we will chase you for that as well. The exam is run by TCS ION, which runs GATE, JEE, CUET, all the major exams in the country. So it happens very, very smoothly and we organize it. So coordination is done by IITM through entirely almost. So we expect, hopefully, if it is a subject that we don't know, like for instance commerce or some other social science, we expect some local review here itself maybe. Somebody could review it and then tell us, okay, this is a good course or something like that. And we will merely check for overlap and things like that, more administrative things, and we'll get back to you. We have to, of course, get funding from the ministry for the courses that are proposed. That happens at some point in time. Once that happens, then the course is through and the recordings can start, right? So the recording, for instance, here is the timeline, and I'll talk more about this timeline very soon in another slide. But the next available window is July 2024. Okay, so that's the semester that's open. And usually we expect that all the content for that is completed by March 31. So that gives us like a 3-month window to make sure everything is in line. And we open enrollments. We'll take care of producing videos, we'll take care of putting up content on the portal, right? You can give us the assignment questions in any format, our team will convert that and put it up on the portal. Like I said, the last line is what I want to really convey. All we want you to think about is the academic content. Right? How does the course work? What is the content of this course? Who am I targeting? What do I want to teach? And then create the content, create the assignments, final exam question papers. We'll take care of everything else. So that, like I said, we do this with hundreds of faculty. We run thousands of courses, so we know how to do this really efficiently and effectively. Okay. So copyright issues are a bit important. We distribute everything under Creative Commons license. This is like the Wikipedia type license. So you cannot use any copyrighted material in your content. So all images have to be redrawn. We can help with that also. You cannot use any video from anywhere. We can't take content from books. From books you can do only if they permit. So usually books, sometimes if you attribute it to them, they are okay to allow some of their things to be distributed under involved in NPTEL courses. Many of our faculty have managed to get permission, but journals is pretty much impossible. You can't get journals to do this. Videos cannot be embedded. All content has to be original, and this is very important. You can of course provide links to as many content as possible for people to do that. So this is important to keep in mind. But this is a good copyright, good policy, because the ownership and IP and all of that belongs to you. It's your content. As author, you have all rights on it. You can do whatever you want with it. What you give NPTEL is the rights to distribute it under CC BY-SA. You can even write books on this content. All you need is your agreement with the publisher is you have to say this content, one version of this content is available on NPTEL, and that will be always available. On top of that, we write the book. Many faculty in IITs have done that also. We've been able to do that. So this is a pretty good copyright piece. some impressions from the pages. I think these are not so important. That's timeline. And there's also something about honorarium. Okay, can you show that slide, the honorarium slide? It doesn't come here, you have to go and... It's hidden, you have to press escape. You'll see it on the left. It's... Yeah. So there's funding for faculty, for the content creation, and for running of the course, and there's also funding for teaching assistant support. All of this is possible. Let me start with running of the course. When the course runs, let's say it's a 12-week course, you get 50,000 rupees as honorarium every month. So for a 4-week course, you would get 50,000. For an 8-week course, you would get 1 lakh. For a 12-week course, you would get 1.5 lakhs. That's the honorarium you will get for running of the course. This you would get every time the course runs. Every semester the course runs, this is something you would get. There is also teaching assistant support if enrollment is greater than 500, but I can assure you most NPTEL courses have enrollments much larger than that. It easily goes into thousands quite quickly. And TAs also, you can hire mostly your PhD students, master students, or anyone else as a TA. And the TAs help in the forum, they help reviewing your content, they help reviewing your questions, so many things they can help you with. And the TA support is also quite ample. We go up to 1.5 lakhs for 12 weeks, 1 lakh for 8 weeks, and 50,000 for 4 weeks. For content development, we provide an honorarium of 10,000 rupees per hour of final edited video lecture. So, and that goes for a maximum of 30 hours for 12 weeks, 20 hours for 8 weeks, and 10 hours for 4 weeks. It's prorated if the number of hours is lesser. So to give you an example, for a 12-week course, if you created content of duration 30 hours or more, you will get 3 lakhs as honorarium. Of course, content creation honorarium is given only for the first time the course is created. After that, you get only the course running honorarium as shown above that. Okay. So now, if the institute decides to take on this, first time they get both. Yeah. First time you get both. So first time you run the course, you'll get, for a 12-week course, you'll get 4.5 lakhs. So that's what you get for the course. If the institute decides to sort of be more closely associated with NPTEL, if you want to have like a wing of NPTEL here and all that, then there is funding given to the institute, and the institute can set up its own production system. Hire editors, hire camera folks, hire all those things, maybe create studios here, and for that there is support as well. But that maybe can be done a little bit later. If once you have a set of courses coming in, and the number of courses have become large enough that you need a separate unit here, then we can transition towards that also. Now that has a lot of benefits for the university. From the university point of view, for instance, IITM today runs a lot of online programs. We run executive education online. We run our own BS data science undergraduate program, an undergraduate program in the same online hybrid mode. All of this happened because we started NPTEL. I can assure you that. So NPTEL and the comfort we had with the online mode, the certification, so all of this creates valuable internal revenue for the university. And this learning can happen slowly. We're starting on SWAYAM. So also, why is it good to start on SWAYAM, right? You get visibility. So many people across the country know you. And tomorrow, if you start a paid program, then you get easily people, subscribing to that. And they believe you, right? I mean, they've seen that you're there in it for the true cause of educating a lot of people. And that belief and faith in you changes many things fundamentally. So I think as an institution, there's a lot to gain by taking on this project and start contributing courses. You learn so much more. Okay. I'm sorry, for faculty there are multiple ways in which you gain. A lot of IIT faculty, first of all, have become very famous because of this. So you go across the country, wherever you go, suddenly in an airport and railway station, somebody will come and stop you and say, I'm not joking. This happens quite a bit for faculty. I'm sorry. Yeah, you get your own star value, number one. But more than that, this can become a resource for getting good graduate students, very good PhD students. Many faculty have made it a way in which they get the students. What NPTEL supports is, if you do a course on NPTEL, and then the toppers from the course can do an internship in your lab. We pay for that. We pay for that internship. So this is to attract and make possible for people to come to top institutions, which they otherwise cannot do. So So through that, and if you find the student to be really good, they get converted into PhD students also. Many faculty have gained students that way. Many GATE exam toppers will go and stand on the stage and proudly say that they learned everything from NPTEL. So NPTEL has been helpful in helping people do GATE. So equivalent would be CUET PG, right? So the quality of students who are doing the PG exams will become better when you teach the UG courses yourself. So all of these benefits have come through the IITs because of NPTEL. It's been huge for the institutions, for the faculty, for the students there to take part in it. The TA support goes to people who don't get stipends sometimes. Right? So that's very valuable for the student to be around. So that way the whole system has benefited, individuals have benefited in the system tremendously. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I think maybe the timelines are interesting to go to. We can stop there. So this is the timeline. If you're interested in offering a course in July 2024, I most heartily welcome you to send us proposals. We'll be very happy to work with you and make it happen. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you so much, Professor Niranjan, and he was so excited and asking questions on your behalf. So I was trying to answer some of his questions. So some of the strategic questions he had, like you were asking about teachers' engagement and all that. Okay, so just quick thought that for everyone, how does a teacher get involved with NPTEL or SWAYAM?
So I think the first step is to propose a course.
No, as an individual or as an institutional?
Okay, so now what happens in IITs is, IITs treat this as some sort of an additional work in a service. Like for instance, you may be an editor of a journal, right? So something like that. Some of the journals pay honorarium for that task also. So it is treated as an academic service job because of the nature of this program, right? It's not like it's being done for making money for somebody else. It's a service, it's a Ministry of Education program. All of us are from the Ministry of Education one way or the other. So IITs treat it as service, academic service. Now the service is counted in NIRF. You can look at it. NIRF asks for how many online courses your faculty run. It's counted in accreditation. So IITM gets huge points in NIRF because of NPTEL. So that way, so the institutions are happy to have faculty offer courses on NPTEL, but it is treated as load on top of anything else that they have to do at the department.
Yeah, that's it. Over and above.
It's yeah, because there is an honorarium associated with it. Yeah, it's treated over and above whatever else.
It's like, can we interpret in a way that somebody is writing a book?
Something like that, yeah, exactly. So academic service work.
So what is the ratio of the content created by individuals from India and the institutional contribution towards NPTEL?
So
there's a consortium, we know that.
All content is sort of done by a person as a representative of the institution. So it's like saying, for instance, when I offer a course on NPTEL, the final certificate goes with the stamp and seal of IIT Madras.
Yes, so this is very important.
So on the certificate, so all these courses are registered as courses in our Center for Outreach and Digital Education, as we call it. Or some center here, which could be even a Center for Continuing Education. So all the courses are certificate programs of IIT. So,
or maybe different centers.
Different centers, each individual center. Yeah, it's possible. So that way the institution is also putting it out. Because see, I can tell you, I showed you the popularity of NPTEL, right? So when people come in and see these courses, they will know that this is a Delhi University course of NPTEL. Right? So a lot of things, the institution is also a front and center part of it. So we will work with you and agreeing on the format of the certificate, all of those things.
Yeah, I have one question, because, say for example, your maximum course is 30 hours. So generally we treat 30-hour course as 2-credit course.
No, I mean, see, the difference I want to quickly clarify that. See, like I said, you may be teaching 4 hours a week, you teach that.
Yeah.
See, 4 hours a week, when you record the content without interaction and all that, it will come to only 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So you have to imagine the extra thing from the discussion forum, from the assignments, all of that together. So IITM gives 4 credits for a 12-week course. So that is the interpretation.
Okay, and secondly, for example, say we have syllabus, maybe our syllabus slightly different than what is being taught, or already the content is there. So for the same course, like even if it is there, and our university can have our own the course content according to our syllabus can also be produced.
Absolutely. I mean, the content you produce is good to keep it aligned to your academic council's approved syllabus. That's the best thing to do. So I can tell you, a lot of things we do. Today, we run a portal called NPTEL Plus. So what happens on NPTEL Plus is, faculty who typically offer NPTEL courses offer additional workshops, short-term workshops. It could be a 3-hour workshop, 6-hour workshop, 1-day workshop, 2-day workshop. It's all online. We advertise that to the NPTEL audience, this community that we have created. And people register for it. And there is payment for it. That is not that's like an NPTEL run portal where you can do online courses. There are very many interesting courses like that we offer, number one. So that is a way in which the faculty who is offering can make some money, and also some part of that money goes into the institute. Because that is the certificate program.
That is out of the courses which are offered. From that also you resource it?
You can do from that also, but we expect that to be something additional. Like she mentioned, for instance, right, if she is offering a biology course, tomorrow you may want to say, in the summer when my lab is free, I am open to having up to 100 people come into this lab and do something. And there is a charge for that. So that is a certificate program of DU offered through NPTEL as a popularity partner or something like that. Right? So it's like that's sort of a partnership. Many IITs use this. So that's one way in which some revenue comes to the institute. Now, the second thing that has happened is many of our faculty today run executive education programs through NPTEL and our services that we provide. So these are, for instance, we run an electric vehicle program. It's a 6-month program for which we expect industry professionals to take. Because we popularize it through NPTEL and through our office, you'll get a lot more people, like hundreds of people who participate. So, and these are costed much higher. The 6-month EV program is about 1.5 lakhs per person. So these are executive education programs. So because we started this NPTEL, we have that group of people who use us, and then you can easily move towards a monetizing executive education model online. So many people are working like that.
What I gather from you, suppose you are offering a course X on NPTEL, right? Of 2 credits, and that is free of charge to the students across the country. When the course is little popularized, so you can design some similar course or little advanced course, and that you can charge.
That you can charge. Yeah. That is a very good entryway into this big online market that's out there. And you don't have to go with
not for the course X, which as a regular.
Yeah, the same content if you put it out there, it's very unlikely.
So the first course which are being offered through your NPTEL, that will not be charged from the student.
Yeah. There's no charge for anything that's offered on SWAYAM. Because SWAYAM is a ministry-funded project. Ministry funds us for creating it. So these other things like
only resource for the only honorarium or some monetary benefit to the faculty members are just the honorarium which you mentioned, right?
Yeah, and the institute benefits from NIRF points. So that happens. But like I said, this can be a fantastic gateway for you to enter into this online space without tying yourself up with a private edtech partner which is going to take away 60% of the money and all that. Because we are a government institution at the end of the day, and we hardly take 15%. So a large fraction of the money comes back to you, and that's also a very nice way to get into this.
So there is no student fee for any course?
On SWAYAM, if your course is on SWAYAM, students don't pay anything for the online content.
So for example, if the data science course offered by IITM, but there is a fees for that. And you get enter through SWAYAM only.
No, you don't enter through SWAYAM. No. There's no connection between the data science program and SWAYAM.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely nothing.
I see.
So data science, let me come to the data science program. So armed with all this knowledge we had from NPTEL, know-how that we had with NPTEL, IITM is today able to manage a data science program with 22,000 students. And these students are slowly now becoming, it's become a big phenomenon in the country. And that's because of the knowledge we had through NPTEL. So eventually, if you want to start full-fledged degree programs in online mode, it need not be in that scale. It can be something smaller as well. All this can help you get. And we can partner with you even there. We can help you out in what works, what doesn't work, give you guidance on how to go about it.
Yeah, one more.
I think so. Many retired faculty have created content for us. But one of the challenges they face is finding PAs for answering questions on the forum and all that. Because we don't have PhD students anymore.
No, suppose if the department of the university supports them, like for example in our department, very gem of the teachers are going to retire in next 2 years. So if we want that,
I think really highly reputed teachers.
The lectures should be recorded.
I think so. I'm happy to have them now. Like I said, see, NPTEL is an academic organization. We are run by faculty, so we make decisions which are academically sound.
The course content preparation as well as running the course, there is money involved.
Yes.
But what he said was that it's only for the extra courses.
No. There are two different things.
Yeah.
The course content on SWAYAM, the student does not pay.
No, but
the money is given. Honorarium is given by the ministry.
Even for the basic course.
Even for the basic course. Yes.
Even for the basic course.
Honorarium for faculty is there, but student doesn't pay the money.
Like student is free. You give anything for the institution, for generation resources for the university.
So he's asking about additional things you can do on top of that. That's what.
How do you compare tablet with the interactive panel? Like during online, we all had online classes, and tablet was not such a good experience.
We can help you with that. I can convince you. Very senior faculty at IIT.
Isn't interactive panel better, but gives you more?
So we have a 21-inch tablet. Right, you can sit right here. I'll show it to you. I've used it quite often. It's really good. And it's so big, and you can really work on it. Let's see if you can pull up a video and show you. It's very easy to do this. And you can be much more creative on the tablet, and you can do so many nice things.
Better than interactive panel that you
Yes,
see?
I would say it's much better than the interactive panel. So here is the recording. It's so handy. It's so handy.
Definitely more handy, yeah.
So you can see what
the module lectures are prepared that in the control mode rather.
Yes.
Not just you wait in the class and started teaching of this time. It's control mode.
So let me clarify that. So this lecture that's going on right there is an actual classroom. So he's sitting in an actual classroom in my own department. His name is Mr. David. So he's teaching students. Students are there in front of him. So a lot of our recording we do like this. This adds very interesting value. So what we do is, in a classroom we put a tablet. Whatever the faculty is writing on the tablet gets projected on the screen. So in a large classroom, believe me, on a blackboard, people at the back cannot even see. But projections, people can see. It really works. So in the class they do it. Why did they do that? We also record them. So it's very easy for faculty to create content in AIT.
And you use the
possible. Having said that, it's also possible to do the recording separately in the studio with no students on your own. That's also okay. You can do either way, depending on the comfort. See, some faculty I've seen, they become very conscious, particularly people who taught well in class, they interact with students, become very conscious when they have to look at a camera. They don't know what to look at, they avoid looking at the camera, and then the video looks very bad. On the other hand, in class, they're so comfortable. They see students in front of them and talk. And that comfort is also nice to capture in a video. But there are other examples, let me show you. This is from Sudarshan and IIT Roper. So you can see the kind of things, the way the video looks. It just comes out very well. I can even show you various other videos that people have created. So we have people who are really experienced in creating educational videos and what really works, and we can help out every way possible. So these are some animations on medicinal chemistry.
Sir, contributed to the SWAYAM courses, and they also support their video lectures with the self-learning material. So is it the same with NPTEL that video lectures are recorded with the studio, and after that we, as a course proposal, we also need to supply some sort of self-learning material or written text or something like that?
Written text need not be given. The videos we transcribe. What we do is the video itself we transcribe in English, and we will expect that you look at the transcript and make sure it's okay. Do some corrections, etc. So we expect, and there's a separate honorarium that's paid for that also. The correction of the transcript and all. That is the only thing we expect. But if you want to embellish your video, so what we really suggest is, once the video is done, the video is on a certain topic, below the video there is space for you to experiment. Right? So you can add some small questions below the video. You can add some content below the video saying, okay, if you want to learn more, you can go here, there, some video links, URLs and all that you can provide. So some faculty do that, but it's up to the faculty.
Mostly keeping audio video more rather than some text also.
Yes, yes. Text will come as a transcript. Yes.
For IT courses, so there would be, of course, applications in CS and IT, right? And you may have some skill enhancement courses or elective kinds of courses where you are developing the skills of the student. In those cases, you may be showing some proprietary software, right? So regarding that, is there any copyright rule for that?
So usually there is no problem. We have courses on MATLAB, which is in fact supported by MathWorks. The certificate goes with the logo of MathWorks on it.
Yeah.
We have courses on Fluent in Fluid Dynamics. We have an agreement with them. So if you have a proprietary software, many companies are very eager to publicize the software. Right? They come forward and help us.
So, but it will have to be publicized through them.
Need not be. You can do it on your own also. But I'm telling you, we write to, if NPTEL writes to them, they will gladly come. So in fact, MathWorks puts one of their staff on the discussion forum of the MATLAB course to help students out. They give free MATLAB licenses to all students who are enrolled for the NPTEL.
Then what is either the college or they have to give them the license, so that will be a problem. The other one is where we partner and give the licenses for the duration of the course. Or the other one, we can say the beginning itself say, this course requires the use of this software, only if you have it can actually be in the course, and something like that will say something to add a value. So showing it in the video is not a problem, but usage by the students problem will be the problem.
So another question I had was, another question I had was regarding the analytics. The first analytics being the performance of the student after giving the exams or after any assessment, let's say quiz-based assessment. So is there anything that is given as a feedback regarding what the student needs to improve on within the course structure? The second thing being the second aspect of analytics, which is the video analytics to the teacher or the instructor. So is there any kind of video analytics given to the instructor that this is the portion which seems to be primarily viewed, just like you have a popularity kind of a view on YouTube or something? Which basically
it's possible because of the scale of SWAYAM, right? There's crores of people. Any such analytics involves cost. And right now the ministry is happily supporting all this because our monthly cloud cost is so low that they don't mind it. So if I start putting analytics, video analytics on everyone, suddenly the cost will be very big. So what we do is we rely on the assignments a lot. You get assignment questions and then you know how many people answered what questions. And that's a very easy thing to do. But we have also experimented with some of the things you are mentioning. Finally, it ends up being used by such a small fraction of faculty that we found that it's not very effective in scaling it up to a very large number. But what you can do for personalized feedback is, every question you put up, every choice that the student makes, you can actually put feedback. You can say why it is wrong.
That really doesn't count. And for every course on NPTEL, there is again a public page where we have the course. So there is a tab called statistics. So you can go to this page here. There are multiple links on every course that we have done. So downloads will actually give you what all are the downloads for that particular course. So we archive one set of assignments as a sample assignment for students to see if they are looking at the course any point in time.
Can you use the mic for a few minutes?
Yeah, so we archive a few things on the portal. So nptel.ac.in is a portal that anybody can use any time of the year without a login. So this is a kind of an online library where all our 3000 plus courses are archived, the contents are available here, and we also augment the videos along with some of these things. So one is a downloads tab. So we have put in one set of assignments from a run where students who are going through the videos can probably self-assess themselves to say, have I learned it or something like that. There are the transcripts that have been verified and corrected, so that is available here for download. We have put together the transcripts into books, so that is available here, and the videos are also available for download here. So primary source is YouTube. In fact, all NPTEL videos are on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel called NPTEL HRD, and the 65,000 hours are actually on YouTube for us. and we have a local source also. So this is one place. The other tab is the statistics tab. So if you look at the statistics tab for every course, this is publicly made available on our website, that you can see every single run, how has the course performed, how many people actually enrolled to the course, how many took up the exams, how many people actually got gold, which is say 90 plus, 75 plus and all that. So all this data is available. So if a learner wants to come in for a course, we actually suggest to them, go there, see the videos, see if the videos are okay for your level of understanding. Is that your objective of learning for coming to this course? Look at the statistics of this course. Are these okay again for your students? We tell colleges to actively look it up before, subscribing their students to our courses. And then say you can come into this particular course. And there's also feedback here that we collect. During the course, and in fact, we run a weekly feedback for the students. They can give you feedback on whatever was difficult or not. Then we do also, at the end of the course feedback, one collection is done. We go to centers and actively also record video feedback. So those would be available here under this particular tab for every of the courses that we have on NPTEL. So this is some of the additional resources. Yeah.
So these are toppers, we put them up there. It's really prestigious for these students who are from smaller colleges to see their names and photos on the toppers. Like I said, working with the community is the number one goal.
In fact, I think we have quite a few. We have to track the numbers, so we have quite a few.
So every course we will top.
So it is only 2 credit courses, how you decide?
Based on the marks, if you get 90 plus.
No. Absolutely.
Everybody gets 90 plus. Not easy.
So you can see here we have IIT Palakkad students here. So there are some Pandit Dayal University. There is again University, IIT University, Chennai. Look at the other colleges. There is Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Indian Institute of
So all these students are registered through their institute, or they can voluntarily also do the course?
So the entire SWAYAM platform is open for anybody to log in, enroll, learn, write exam, get a certificate. That is an independent process. Nobody can stop anybody from coming on the platform and learning. If you want to credit it, there are processes for it. So some colleges, so we have something called local chapter. So when you go to the SWAYAM platform to enroll to a course, we actually ask, do you belong to a local chapter? And all the 5,900 colleges we work with today are listed there in a drop down. So once you select the city and the state, it will show the list of colleges. You select your college. That's how we give data back to the college about the people enrolled from that college. So once you've selected that particular institution, the data of enrollment, assignment information, their exam registration marks after they've gotten the results, and the certificate copies are all given to the colleges from us directly to them through the coordinator.
When it is for the credit thing, otherwise they can...
Yes, but otherwise if you say I don't belong to a college, I'm just learning, we don't give that information to anybody. It's between SWAYAM portal and the learning.
Like for example, my own daughter, she learns from NPTEL portal, but she gives exam in her own college instead of, So, okay. But if she gives this exam also, then she will get the certificate.
Yes. So some universities and colleges today opt to do their own exams. So they say, do the course on NPTEL, do the assignments, but we'll give you the final exams. You don't have to do the NPTEL exams. While some universities have done the credit policy that bring the certificate from NPTEL, and we will take it here for credit. So it depends on the model that is adopted.
And how do you protect your content? Like especially in this world of artificial intelligence, anybody can copy it. The only thing is you have to change the face and some ambience and all. So how do you protect it?
How do you protect your content in this age of artificial intelligence?
We don't really protect it. In fact, in all our programs, we don't really protect our content, except for the individual education programs where you put behind a paywall. All these contents are given freely on YouTube. So the point is, we don't charge people for the content itself. Because resources out there online. Oh, your resource so better than so many questions will come. So really the charge is for the certificate.
No, if anybody can...
It is, I would say, MOOC adapted to the Indian context to make a difference.
To make a difference to our colleges and universities out there spread out across the country. How do you make a real difference to them? Between Bharti and me and another coordinator in IIT Madras, we've travelled to the nook and corner of the country. We've done 300 plus awareness workshops everywhere. You can't imagine a state we have not been to. And I can assure you, in the smaller towns, this incredible thirst for good quality learning, and we just don't get access. And access is simply limiting us in such a strong way. So, how do you take an online course or MOOC in a way that makes a difference to those people? Right? That I think is what is special about what happens in NPTEL and SWAYAM as opposed to any other online course.
I have seen in Kottayam University, Kerala, 2 years before, for a meeting, it was written that 20% are credit given through the MOOC or SWAYAM. 2 years before I have seen it, out of 100.
Many universities have adopted credit transfer.
So in fact, world over, the MOOCs was kind of going down from 2017. They had their start in 2010 or so. They peaked by 2012-13 when we also started. But by 2017, the world started saying MOOCs is not going to survive, that's going to die. But I think we really picked up, and we are still, at least as of today, surviving, because one of the government policies where we are affecting this credit acceptance into the universities, and also the genuine, kind of courses we are pushing out there for the colleges to consume also, and kind of help them consume it, help them around the entire ecosystem that we were describing, right? The local chapters, the industry, the support that we give them, and so on. I think we are still growing, and that entire space of non-engineering is available today because NPTEL primarily does not have expertise in it, and the other institutes, the large universities, are still to step into that kind of a space. So, in the engineering, we have almost a 98-99% coverage in UG and PG. Name any course in any discipline, I think we have it in NPTEL, they are running it in certification today. So, across the 2 semesters, we run about 1,600 courses today for certification, which practically covers almost everything, and still we are adding to it, not that we have stopped. But in the other spaces, say of commerce, of humanities, of social sciences, of economics and all, we still don't have that split. So that's the space that is waiting to be occupied, and that's where we are, inviting faculty from here to propose courses in that space and kind of enable students in that areas to learn. And it would be of interest to other people also. Like we said, the IIT students don't get a chance to study social sciences, right? So when a course from this comes out, which we have a couple of them, they're very interested and they actually do that. It's a good exploratory option for them to do it outside of their curriculum also. So that is something. In fact, the art science colleges that work with us today, primarily when they say, what should we do? You don't have courses for us. We tell them job courses are IT courses. Teacher students programming, teacher students data science, teacher students language courses. And that's what we have, that's what we can offer until we get other courses from somewhere. So that is something that is there. Law courses we don't have. I think only NLS Bangalore has about 4 and NLS Delhi has about 4 or so. Otherwise we don't have the law courses at all. The pharmacy courses we don't have. So all these are still spaces that are waiting to be kind of covered, and that we have to create content and put it out there. So that is something that...
Just one last question. We talked about the target audience in the structure of the proposal, the course proposal. So is there any formal way of restricting the target audience at a certain
Not really, we keep it open, but what we say is the target audience is this. In terms of the prerequisites, we assume that they will know. But if somebody is saying, I can cope with it, and anyway the enrollment is free. So a lot of them actually enroll to 4 or 5 courses. And they'll skip the content for a week or 2, then they'll decide on which they want to kind of focus on and stuff. So we say if you want to learn and you think you can learn, go ahead and learn it. Nobody's stopping you, but we're saying this is best suited to students of say BCom degree because they have this in their first year and we are gearing up as a second year course. So best suited for them, but anybody can learn. That's it.
Thank you. So my apologies, the Chief Operating Officer of SWAYAM, right, essentially is an electronics and communication engineer from Anna University, and she is a part of this massive project and very, very important project for us. And I think now, after listening to all the deliberations and the queries we have, and this is very, in a way, it's a very good thing that we have a very focused discussion today. It's not diverted into other dimensions, and we remain focused on to the point that what needs to be done and how it can be delivered, and how the productivity of SWAYAM can be natively integrated with the academic framework of Delhi University. So I think the way forward is to start somewhere, and I think for Delhi University to begin with the humanities and social sciences is the biggest, because they are the giant in technology, so we can't compete to begin with, but eventually we will give a threat. My engineering colleagues are inspired to do something good in this domain, but anyway, it will take time. We have to learn a lot. But I think to begin with, the social sciences and humanities are the right take, and we can start some of the programs. I was talking to Dean Planning also, and I think he is also excited to start off these programs. What do you think? Is the right thing? Is mathematical sciences?
Yes, sir, I'm sure my colleagues are here from the Faculty of Mathematical Sciences. I'm sure we can certainly take up some courses, especially a lot of students are interested to learn statistics. Our head of the statistics department is here, and optimization is a key thing.
So, Ms. Prati, just a small query. Do you have any chance that how many of Delhi University professors are on SWAYAM? Any course?
So, to the extent I know, on NPTEL, there was only one Delhi University professor.
I also saw
Shomishta Panja.
Shomishta Panja is an English professor.
Yeah, he has taught a course.
Okay. I think Professor Rajesh. Yeah, so that is what I'm saying. So, Professor Rajesh, I invite you to take lead in this. And I think you are in the lifelong learning. Correct. And I think let's start, and we'll have some internal discussion and prepare a roadmap that how to go about it. And I extend on behalf of the computer center we'll extend all the facilities, technical support to all the faculty members how to, do some kind of a introductory session that internally we can deliberate, okay, are we touching upon the quality, what the benchmark is, and we can satisfy Professor Andrew that somehow that, okay, that's okay, we are worthy enough to upload those lectures.
I think it will be a great experience. I can promise you.
I know.
We work with faculty across the board, and anyone who's offered an NPTEL course has come out of it so happy. You can ask Shomishta. She came out very, very happy at the end of the course. So it's a great experience, and I think for everybody it's.
And we have a lot of faculty who have done research. Yes.
In addition to NPTEL, IIT Madras also the nodal of one of the cluster under ISCA project. So ISCA 2.0 is over, and ISCA 3.0 is approved. So please, IIT Madras is the nodal of that cluster, and there are many institutions under that, many AAITs, Central University. So we can also submit the proposal. Please under your cluster university. So I think we can also include the courses related to ISC.
ISC?
Information Security and Ethics Academy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, so just a couple of things, just continuing on Andrew's point. So a lot of faculty have done multiple courses with us, and in fact every semester we have kept a limit of 2 courses for a faculty to run because we don't have a university load. So many of them run 4 courses every year, 2 this year and 2 this semester and 2 that semester, and many of them come back for more courses. So it's not like anybody stops at them and says, my God, it was so difficult and absolutely not satisfying that we won't come back, but they keep on coming back with proposals to us, be it senior faculty, be it junior faculty, and it's very nice the difference in flair that we find between, experienced faculty versus the young ones also who want to experiment a lot more in the way that you create videos, in the way that you interact with the students and all that. It's very interesting that we are seeing the way that faculty come back. And one point I think that we missed was, we also are welcome to, if anybody wants, cannot easily cope with the courses that we are putting out in English all the time. So we are trying to translate it for them, but of course it's not the same as being taught in Hindi. It's not like pure
So you can keep all technical terms in English, and the explanation can go out in Hindi. These kind of courses are very interesting.
Yeah, assignments in English, exams in English and all. But what we deliver along, maybe you talk in a mix of Hindi, English kind of, which is more kind of colloquial and things like that. So if somebody wants to experiment in regional language courses, we do have at least 10-12 of them. They also do well. It gets a regional audience, of course, but they also have an update in the way that students are taking these courses. So even that is a welcome initiative if somebody wants to propose such a course.
Right, so can we have a quick couple of more observations or the remarks so that we can start working on making a roadmap and to plan activities around it?
Is it possible also that if somebody wants to translate it into Hindi, is it acceptable?
So one of the things we do is translating the transcripts into multiple languages. That's already going on. That we do. But I think what we would be really interested in is in courses where the speech itself, the audio explanation is also in Hindi. That would be something interesting.
Yeah, whatever the course is there, NPTEL course is there, suppose somebody picks up one course and tries to translate it into Hindi and also deliberates it, also gives it, talks it in Hindi and gets it recorded.
Yes. I think that's possible. Yes, possible.
Yeah, that is.
I was listening to ma'am's observations and the questions are very, very relevant. And I think this is quite natural to have the observations what you have raised. It is very, very important. But the core important thing is how we automate the, evaluation process to save time of both, right? The students as well as teacher, and to get rid of the pen paper issue. So at least one habit would come that the assessment to start with the automatic assessment. So the auto-graded thing is one thing that is the key takeaway, and we need to understand, and we need to start some kind of a pilot, very soon, and we'll do something very soon. So we need your help in making up the roadmap and.
No, I think to make a start, we should welcome anybody to offer the course, because I think the starting is important. Only when a few faculty here have had a great experience with us, I can assure you will have a great experience with us. And then when you talk about it to your colleagues, it's so much better than me talking about it directly to all faculty. So I think let's start.
Exactly. And I think it is very important for the young faculty who have recently joined the academics and university, for them, what is the future and how they need to gear up. So I really invite them to understand the nuances of all this, understand it and be the part of that movement, so that eventually they are there on that. Yeah.
So some of them do that. I think MIT admits people through people who do well in a set of courses in VDX. I think this has happened sort of naturally through CAPE. And even the example I mentioned of a student, so getting into the CU, Central Universities for PG, it happens because all of our admission is entrance exam based. We have lawsuits to worry about, this, that, and that. So we can't happily change our admission process.
So one thing is, we'll be a meeting you require next week, the week after, whenever. We'd be happy to engage with smaller groups of faculty to maybe discuss more details of what you need about assignments. We could share samples of assignments. If you're thinking of maybe 2-3 courses and you're wondering how did faculty do assignments for something similar, we could share their question papers with you. We could share their assignments with you and also get those discussions done. We'd be happy to engage on a one-on-one basis also. Many times faculty will have more doubts, So we'd be happy to have one-on-one meetings if somebody wants to know more about, certain proposals they have in mind or something like that.
Can you pass the email ID again? So yeah, please write to us. We are really very unlike a government organization. You will get immediate responses. You will get middle of the night responses. You will be really sort of surprised at how efficiently we work. And Bharti is heart and soul of all operations in NPTEL. She is the reason for most of the successes we've had. So she is really efficient. Please reach out to her. Any question you have, and if within your department, if you have a few interested faculty, or within a faculty, as you call it here, if there is an interest group and you want us to address them, we're happy to do that online. We can have multiple sessions.
So thank you so much. And so thank you so very much for coming up and giving us really the correct insight about the SWAYAM, and because I always wonder that some of my colleagues, they always differ that the SWAYAM is a different kind of thing, which is not meant for us and all that. But I think it is meant for us only, and it is strengthening us, and it is going to bring not many positive changes so that our productivity will go up. So thank you once again, and probably we may invite you another time once we are ready with our roadmap and the execution plan. So we'll put up something concrete. Thank you so very much. Thanks everyone for coming.